All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's check it out.
Across now to Sydney's Town Hall, where there is an unauthorised pro-Palestine protest taking place. Protesters there are defying New South Wales Premier's Chris Minns's 14-day protest ban, and Julia Bradley is live there for us. Julia, police have said this week they won't hesitate to crack down on people doing the wrong thing. What is it like there at the moment? Can you talk us through the atmosphere?
Well, Caroline, I'd say the number of police officers is pretty much on par with the number of people who have turned out to take part in this demonstration tonight. It got underway officially at 6 o'clock. You can see members of the pro-Palestine community down here at Sydney Town Hall. Now, one of the reasons for them turning out tonight is that they, as you say, want to be opposing those anti-protest laws which were introduced in New South Wales in the wake of Australia's worst ever terror attack, the Bondi attack, which did target the Jewish community. So they're coming out to say that these laws, in their view, are draconian and impinge on their freedom of speech. It's being organised by Stop the War on Palestine and Jews Against the Occupation, endorsed by a number of other groups like the Palestine Action Group, New South Wales Civil Liberties Council and also the New South Wales Greens.
These laws are a real worry. They give the police a lot of extra discretionary powers, particularly to stop marches, but also potentially to give move-on orders even to peaceful static assemblies like this. That's why we've said we think these laws are unconstitutional. They shouldn't have been passed.
Okay, bro, you just said two different things here. You just called this a peaceful static protest while then complaining about I guess the local police are so sending out, I guess, decrees for the most part to stop marches. Let me guess, in the street marches where other people have to basically deal with your literal nonsense in the middle of the street. Listen, I understand your cause. I get it. We can have a full-blown conversation about Palestine, Israel, the history of all the crazy nonsense, the moderately false flag operations that have been happening. I get it. We can have all these type of conversations. But again, you can't compare the marches you were talking about specifically to this peaceful static protest. Do this. I'm sure no one basically minds this.
They should be scrapped. But in the meantime, yes, we still have a legal right to hold public assemblies, and that's what we'll do tonight.
Cool.
Caroline, at about 5:30 tonight, we also saw one man being arrested by police. He was taken away and he was holding up a sign that said, "Blame Hamas." I tried to ask him why he turned out, why he was holding up that sign, and he didn't speak to me too much about why he decided to come down to this rally. But other than that, we haven't really seen any major arrests or anything. Essentially, this isn't a ban on protest, Caroline. It is just meaning that people can't submit a Form 1 application. So it means that they're not protected for being charged with offences like blocking footpaths and blocking roads. So we could see more arrests as the night goes on. If people do the wrong thing, the New South Wales Premier has really urged people to dial down the temperature.
Yeah. Julia, I mean, that person that was arrested, it doesn't fill me with confidence that this is how the protest has already begun. We saw the same scenes last year before the Opera House descended into this scene of absolute Jew hatred and rioting, where the only person that was arrested early on outside Town Hall was a man wearing an Israeli flag. And there's someone who just is saying blame Hamas, and he's spot on, and yet he's the one that police are moving on. Look, Josh Lees, who you interviewed earlier, he's defended phrases like globalize the intifada. Have you heard any chants like that yet? Or is it, I mean, it's a bit early in the piece.
Well, Caroline, this event has only just got underway, so no chance of that kind that I've heard as of yet. I did in that interview, though, ask Josh Lees about those chants, given that the
Guys, hold on.
New South Wales Premier has previously flagged that he wishes to ban. Interview, though.
Okay. Guys, it is such a troubling area, bro. Like, you have two gigantically different cultures in that region, and they're living so close to each other, and it is very beef oriented, and it has been beef oriented since they were basically put on that land. Like, guys, I mean, it just this is why it's like, guys, if you want to fix something, I get it, right? But I'm not sure that you should be doing this in like our Western countries, kind of large scale. But
asked Josh Lees about those chants, given that the New South Wales Premier has previously flagged that he wishes to ban phrases like globalise the Intifada, which, as you know, many in the Jewish community have said is really a violent phrase when being directed towards them. Josh Lees did say that he doesn't believe that that is a violent phrase, and doesn't even believe as well that the phrase from the river to the sea is violent either. He says it's a call for resistance. So haven't heard anything of that nature just yet, but we'll be covering this event.
Thank you, Julia. We will come back to
Okay. Yeah. Things are very different. All right. So obviously this is like, in fact, Australia. This is not the United States of America. So things are going to be definitely different. But it's still a Western country, right? And they still have like overall like Western ideals and things like that. You know, I get it, right? But yeah, if you're going to protest, sure, protest. I'm glad you're protesting. Be happy. You say protest is a human right. I saw on one of the signs here. Great. Again, guys, do your thing. Don't get in the way. But apparently there is some type of like what Schedule 1, Form 1. I don't know what she said, bro. Never heard of it in my life. But apparently you can sign up to be able to block traffic out there. But that's crazy, dudes. Okay, that is a different planet. Okay, but again, different country, different rules, different sets of all these things here.
Chaos in Boston last night. Look at this. More than a dozen people walked away in handcuffs. Multiple police officers injured during this chaotic brawl around Boston Common. Some people even left with broken bones. This clash broke out during the Flood Downtown for Palestine rally. And this morning, some of those involved are facing a judge.
Lauren Melendez live outside Boston Municipal Court today. Lauren, really a wild scene there.
Oh, wild for sure, Jeff. So wild that 2 police officers had to go to the hospital with broken bones, trying to wrestle those protesters for control during that violent protest. This morning, I've got new names, new charges, and new statements for you ahead of the arraignments for those 13 individuals involved. At the height of the violence, protesters carried away by police, forced into arrests after officers say they resisted and attacked them. 13 men and women ranging from 19 to 28 years old accused of breaking away from what started as a peaceful protest on the Common during the Flood Downtown for Palestine rally.
Flood downtown for
But police say around 6:45, the 8 men and 5 women whose names were released Wednesday morning forcibly removed or damaged their body cameras, radios, bicycles, and other gear, all while igniting flares full of red smoke, blocking traffic, escalating into an all-out brawl.
This looks super peaceful, guys.
Mayor Michelle Wu saying Boston will not tolerate violence, and we categorically condemn those who came into our community to attack our police officers.
Really? Mayor Wu said that? Or was it like her assistant who said that? Because I mean, I have a couple of questions here. Okay, it almost doesn't make any sense that you would say something so, you know, patriotic. I'd say moderately, at least, right? You're not immediately siding with the rioters, guys. I mean, that's such a weird thing to encounter, because anytime we've heard her speak in other terms, it's always kind of been that type of scenario, right? She's never won for the rule of law.
And these attacks must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
That surprises me.
All this after learning the protesters allegedly surrounded police vehicles, kicked their doors, and hit one officer in the face. The protesters claiming the U.S. is a, quote, war machine that supports famine and genocide, adding they want to fight the system.
Okay, well then move to the country, since we're all these bad things, okay? Like, I mean this immediately. Move to the countries that you are attempting to kind of protect, if that makes any sense, or stand up for. All right, move to those places. All right, then get back to us. Or matter of fact, don't get back to us. Stay there. All right, like if you do not like the United States of America to this level, all right, then maybe it's just time for you to go somewhere else, bro. Sorry, okay. To a certain extent here, because obviously at the same time, you know, I don't know. I'm not really a super fan of like un-American Americans, guys. I don't know. It just feels weird, bro. Live your life, obviously. Live your life, but if you have that much of a problem, you know, if you hate America that much, bro, why are you here, bro? Like, why are you here living in the first world country if you don't want what the country has to offer? If that makes any sense here. So you call it a stretch logic? Yeah, I feel it. I felt it. As soon as I said it, I felt it. Trust me when I say this, because it's like that's my initial kind of off the cuff response is like, yeah, they get out. But then I'm like, wait a second, hold on. I think you kind of do have the right to kind of say what you're not what you don't approve of. I get it. But to the point where you're now kind of like putting hands on the police officers, bro. Nah, bro, get out of here. Leave.
Ultimately facing it in court. And some of those charges of the 13 people who are arraigned or will be arraigned this morning include assault and battery. We also have disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, and more. We're live here at Boston Municipal Court this morning. I'm Lauren Melendez, NBC 10 Boston.
Hey,
Okay. Now listen, all right. Do I want American dollars to fund all of the literal nonsense? No, I don't want us spending money on anyone that is not American. Why are we doing that? Right. So, like, I mean, if you followed my story long enough, at least, right, I've said on numerous occasions, I don't want to send money anywhere. Right. Super fiscally conservative. Why am I sending the amount of money I have to pay on a yearly basis into taxes? All right. While other people get tax returns, that's not a thing for me, guys. I pay taxes every single year. I absolutely hate the idea of wasting money in foreign countries. Right. So if I have to legitimately spend money, if I know that the money I'm sending into the government on a monthly and literally yearly basis is being sent to fund all types of irrelevant stupidity that's basically set up to line the pockets of the biggest donors humanly possible, I don't like it. Right? I've never said for a second I like the idea of money being sent to foreign countries. I've never said that. Right? I've been complaining about the Ukraine forever. I've been complaining about sending money to Israel forever. Right? This is not new. When I say this is not new. I don't like sending money to foreign countries. I hate the idea of remittance even, bro. Right? No, we don't really get much of a return at all. We just waste money. And that's it here. The ones who generally get the richest are generally going to be the people who have the ability to get the government contracts for these things here. That's it here. All right. Now, guys, really quick, when it comes down to like the Palestine and like Israel situation, though, what are we going to do? All right. Like, and I mean this here, like, what do you think the end point is of you protesting this consistently? What do you think it is here? Like, you're not going to change anyone's mind, but at all, right? You're just going to, I guess, foster an environment where the people who already agree with you are going to either come out and stand with you or agree with you even more. That's it here. You're not changing. Like, the time that we're in is so polarized, right? The time that we're in is so this or this, right? A or B, right? Black or white, if that makes any sense. That you're not changing anyone's opinion here, bro. You're not changing your opinion. I would definitely not say, bro. I would definitely not say the public opinion had changed at all on Israel. Not in the United States of America. What are you talking about? No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't at all. The people who have always basically supported Israel are going to always support Israel. That's it here. And then like the more you are deeper into like religion in general, the deeper it is. The public opinion is not. I can't imagine that being a thing that changed. And the same thing with the overall Palestine side of things, right? It's not. Nothing has changed. The same people who agree. I would say on both sides. My opinion, obviously. But guys, what are we going to do here? So my only thing is that if you were to say, okay, we're just going to go ahead and, because I think that's kind of what some people want. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the idea of Palestine, and we're going to go ahead and make a one-state solution. This is going to be a one-state or a two-state solution, but they know the moment they make a one-state solution, we're now looking at what looks to be a Muslim-majority country that was once a Jewish majority country. And they do not want that, meaning that most likely they're like, hold on, if this happens, right, then what do you think is going to happen to all of our places of worship, if now Israel turns into a Muslim majority country. And I think that's pretty much the argument that's pretty much happening. So either a one or two state solution. The one state solution is going to be a little bit tricky. And that's because of the people that are kind of already there. So, you know.
Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.